Hey, welcome to the Bridge the Gap podcast. This is Ty, your host and owner of Solar Detach and Reset. I'm so excited for our guest today that we have on. This gentleman is, I've got to know him really well over the last 6 months, probably 9 months now, and we're power partners in business. He's my business coach, and our relationship continues to grow and is evolving on a weekly basis. And I like to call him my friend now. He's just a gangster in the roofing industry. He's blown up, and talk about someone who comes in and disrupts an entire industry. This is the guy right here in a very short amount of time. Everybody knows who this guy is in the roofing industry, and rightfully so, because his marketing game is top notch. He's an awesome father. He's an awesome husband. He also coaches on those things, by the way, not just business. He's a leader and a role model, and I'm happy he's here today. Jason Payne, thank you so much for being here.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, if you could start a little bit about and kind of let everyone know your history and how long you've been in the roofing industry, a little bit about how you got started. I know we were chatting offline a little bit, so if you could recap on some of that.
Sure.
And why and how you got to where you are today, essentially, with State 48.
Yeah, so January of 2010, I left a $12 an hour job to get a $12.50 per hour job to take a $14 an hour job working for my uncle's roofing company. And immediately I became the production manager. Never swung a hammer in my life, knew nothing about roofing, but I had work ethic, clean driver's license, and I spoke Spanish. So those three things got me a pay increase from $12.50 to $14 an hour.
Right.
And from there, I was like, okay, cool. And I just went, knee deep into it and just literally started to develop the skill and put my head down for a solid 5 years. 5 years, not 5 weeks, not 5 days, not 5 months. What happens is a lot of us, we have shiny object syndrome. We want to do this and let's go do this and let's go do this. And I'm actually a culprit of that too. That's my personality. I just see it as opportunity. I will go entertain something because it could be a huge opportunity to turn into something. But some people will abandon what they have to go get that instead of going and doing those things to complement what you currently have. So that's been one of my biggest things. So put my head down for 5 years, ran production. All I do is production. I did sales as well too. On the side because I want to make more money, but that production, it was a salary job. They give me a company phone, iPad, company truck, but it was a salary position. Well, cool. I'm capped out at 40 grand. It was started at like $45,000 and up to 60 and slowly up from there. But I was like, dude, that doesn't get me out of bed. It's making me excited, and I don't want to do it forever, right? So I talked to my uncle. I said, hey, what do I do? He's like, well, you need to sell. Cool. I was like, so I'm going to sales. It's like, no, you have to replace yourself and go into sales. I'm like, nobody wants to do my job right now. I was like, for the workload I have and not at that price. I was like, you're on crack. There's no way it's going to happen. So I said, okay, cool. So I continued doing production. And then apart from that, I was doing sales as well. So I sold anywhere from $1 to $1.5 million a year, apart from running 4 to 6 crews.
Just doing everything.
Doing everything.
So intaking massive amounts of experience in all aspects of roofing.
Yeah, we asked me, who taught you roofing? Did you go to a class? Did you do this, do that? I've never personally installed a roof in my life, personally.
Yeah.
But I don't need to. Elon Musk didn't build a rocket. He got dudes from Harvard and Stanford that know how to build rockets that went to 8, 10, 12 years of school, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know how a roof needs to go on, and I know code, and I know what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to go on. And I train our guys to do that. But like I said, when I started, I didn't start swinging a hammer up on a roof. I'm not a third generation roofer. I was at my dad's house when I was 5, picking up shingles and in the warehouse and, tossing shingles off of a roof. I didn't do that. So, but what I did do is I asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I got up on the roof, whether it was Mexican crews, Guatemalan crews, those guys, I would just get up and ask them in Spanish and be like, hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? The TRI, Tile Roofing Institute booklet.
Yeah.
Every one of my employees has them. We go through one of those tools every single day. I'll send a video out, a training video out on a certain, even if it's just a sentence.
Yeah.
No, that's for tile.
Yeah.
But shingles, we have continuing education classes all the time, every week. Like this past week, we had GAF, right? GAF. Yeah. Shingles come in. Then we have coating guys come in. We have tile guys come in. We have underlayment guys come in. We have, you name it, because education is everything, and that's how when you don't ask questions, it's because your ego is in the way, and because you think you're the shit. And what we need to do is actually check your ego, and you need to understand that there's always room for growth, right? Like, Jason, you're killing it, you're doing this. Cool, guess what? I'm still in 2 masterminds that are $60,000 a year that I go to, quarterly masterminds, to go and do better, to go and grow myself, my family, my relationships with my spouse, my kids, and I'm still leveling up. Right?
And you'll probably never stop. It seems like it's such a life commitment.
Once you stop leveling up, you start dying.
Yes. And
that goes for your relationships and your income.
Absolutely. So how are you continuing to grow and not be stagnant every single day?
Well, I just have I have grind and I have passion. I wake up every single day knowing that, like, Kobe Bryant scared the crap out of me. Like, I hate the Lakers. Hate the Lakers. Hate the Lakers. Love Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I hate the Bulls. Suns. I'm born and raised in Phoenix, baby. Right? Bulls and the Suns had their thing with Jordan, right? And Shaq and all those guys, and Charles Barkley and that era. But like, I loved when Kobe Bryant died. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
I've never had an athlete pass away like that. Obviously, it shook the entire world, in my opinion, especially North America. But with me, it was like, dude, I was like, he was an amazing athlete. He went all in on his craft, all in on his game, all in on himself, and is one of the top 3, top 5 in the history of the sport. And then he gets in a helicopter crash at age 30, whatever, 40, early 40s, late 30s, whatever it is, and he's gone.
That's it.
And he had 2 girls. One of them died with him, right? Like, that's the kind of shit you never know when your last day is. So that's why you can't just go all in and go 100 miles an hour as a business owner and neglect your wife and your kids. I did that. Most people don't know this. I've actually been married and divorced. So my first kid that's 13 is from my first marriage when I did that. And I went all in on my business, went gangsters, and we didn't have any money. But like, I neglected my wife and neglected my son, and I ended up getting divorced because of it, right? So I said, okay, well, if I do that again, I'm going to get divorced again. So I was like, I need to fix it. What do I need to do? I need to make sure that my wife and my kids are a priority. And even then, my wife knew. The other thing is sharing your passions, your goals, your dreams, and your visions with your spouse and your kids. Not that so it justifies why you're not there, but when you do need to be gone for a podcast, a conference, a seminar, a work thing, whatever, they understand that it's temporary, it's not permanent. It's not every Saturday, it's a Saturday here or there. It's not every Monday night, it's a Monday night here or there. Because you have goals and dreams and aspirations that you want to accomplish as an individual, and your kids need to see that. Because if you're a fat slob, your kids are going to be a flat slob 90% of the time. I was watching a reel yesterday, I forgot who it was, that said that if one adult, one parent is obese, it's 50% chance that the child will also be obese. If both parents are obese, it's like an 85% chance.
Wow.
I was like, cool, well, flip it. Like, my kids see me working out. My kids, even though they're like really dumb and silly, but like they're push-ups. They're not real push-ups, but they're trying, right? And then I have the roller wheel where I roll out, try and do that thing with your core, and they try and do that and they flop like a fish because it's a lot of muscle and they're still developing, but they see me doing that.
You're building habits.
Yeah,
like that.
and my son, even Oakley, just the other day, he's 4. He said, "Hey, Dad, when you're done working, can we go to the State 48 roofing office to make money?"
Wow, look at that go. Yeah.
Straight, and he said it 100 times.
Yeah.
He's like, "Dad, can I go?" He's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to go to the office." He's like, "Oh, can I go to the State 48 roofing office to go make money?"
And
Why?
How old is he?
He's 4.
Wow, my gosh. Well,
Yeah, true story, right? Cash, my 8-year-old, but he was probably 6 or 5 at the time. He wanted to go with me to go during monsoon season, right? He wanted to go right along with me, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
When he wasn't in school or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, I want to go with you." And I said, "Okay, cool." And he said, "Can I get up on the roof?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, depending on which it is, if I know the client, like previous client, a friend, a family member, someone, they'll let me pull them up on the roof. Totally cool. A random stranger, I show up and I'm like, getting on the roof. "Hey, can I bring my 4 or 6-year-old?" They're like, "What the fudge is this guy doing?" But if I know, he'd get up on the roof. So if I said, "Hey, you can't get up on the roof," he's like, "I don't want to go."
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to go and sit in the truck, whether it's play games or watch a movie or whatever. He's like, "I want to get up on the roof with you."
That's the mission. Yeah.
That's the mission, because he sees Dad getting up on there, right? Yeah. So people like, and it's not just kids, but like your spouse watches you.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not working on yourself, it's just hypocrisy, man. Like I've been a hypocrite for a lot of my life. I just have. You might not think so. Like, Jason has all his shit together. His marriage is great. His kids are great. His business is great. I'm like, no. It might come off that way on social media. Like, I'm broken, but I'm working on myself every day. And personal development is a non-negotiable. And when you can trigger and going into business, right? How many employees do you have?
About 12 right now.
12.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing almost 80 now.
Yeah.
Your employees will see what you are doing or what you're not doing. If you allow cussing in your business, some people, that's not okay. Some people, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
If you do that, I drop F-bombs every once in a while. I'm not Andy Frisella. It's not a verb for me, right? But like, if they slip out, they slip out, right? I get excited, I get emotional, and it comes out. I have to allow that in my business. I cannot say, hey, Mr. Sales Rep, hey, Mr. Production Guy, hey, Miss Admin Lady. Like, you can't use that language, but the boss does, right? Even with your kids, like, whether it's health, whether it's language, whether it's reading books, listening to stuff. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Right? They know that when they get in my truck, a podcast will turn on and they're like, Dad, can we listen to the radio or can we watch a movie? Like, you always listen to podcasts. I'm like, well, if you do that once, they'll never acknowledge that. They'll never know that. So here, this isn't a good thing, but this is also a true story. My kids will go to Quick Trip, right? And we'll go, and I have 5 kids, so it's like freaking herding cats, trying to get them all back in. So I'm like, hey, everybody go grab one treat, right? They'll go grab a Slurpee, they'll grab a cookie, they'll grab a donut, grab whatever, right? I'm a salted peanuts guy because it's actually good for you in protein and salt and whatnot. Instead of getting a donut or a Slurpee or whatever. But my 4-year-old will go and grab a Mango Loco Monster. Why? If he saw me once, would he go get it? If I went and got a can of beer, if I'm like a Coors Light guy and I went and got a Coors Light one time, would he go and grab a Coors Light? No. Why? Because I only did it once. He's not going to remember. But he see me go in there and go into the exact same second shelf over, four rows up, or second door over, 4 rows up, and that Mango Loco, and it's in my house, it's in my fridge. And he sees it over and over and over and over and over again to where I go in there, I don't have to go get it. He'll go get it for me because that's Dad's drink. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it might be water, it might be a drink, it might be, Dad has to get his Twix, or Dad has to get his Snickers, or he has to go get his box of donuts, right? So it could be good or bad, but you have to pay attention that everybody is watching your move as a business owner. Everybody. Your employees, your spouse, your kids, and your clients. Your clients are watching you. How do you know that? Because if you're on social media, your clients are watching you. They're watching, are you making yourself a priority, right? Are you being a slob on the weekend and sleeping around and doing stupid shit and getting passed out drunk and all those things, right? Or are you working on yourself? Are you a family man? Are you a single guy, right? But because of social media now, like there's no hiding. It's all there, right? So you have to be on your A game all the time. There's no break. But that's also why I believe in like being your raw self. I cuss. I've already cussed on here. You can bleep it out or don't bleep it out. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. No pun intended. Yeah. The reason why is because you and I, off camera, I talk to you like that. When I was on stage a week ago and you came to my conference, I talked like that. 2 days, we had a 2-day mastermind after that, I talked like that. You never like, oh, Jason's this kind here at church, and he's this kind at the house, and he's this kind on a roof, and he's this kind with his coaching business. No. I am the same dude on any platform. That's the problem, is people are trying to hide it. I'm LDS. You're LDS, you're not supposed to drink. I drink every once in a while for fun, right? Oh my gosh, shoot me, kill me. That's a decision I choose to make and I choose to live with, right? You drop the F-bomb. Well, Mormons aren't supposed to cuss. Cool, well, nobody's supposed to cuss, right? But like, it is what it is. But I'm not going to change who I am because you told me to. I'm going to change if I want to change and I don't want to be fat and a slob and I want to better my relationship with my wife, I'm going to do it because I want to, not because somebody told me to. And that's what it comes down to. So with your employees, Andy Elliott, right? Andy Elliott spoke. And he told us, he said, if I ever find one of my employees and they cheated on their girlfriend or their spouse, I'll fire them in 2 seconds. Like, what does that do with business? It doesn't. But if they're being unfaithful and unloyal to their number one person that they love, or they say they love, and they're cheating on them, not if, but when are they going to cheat on you in business and steal from you, or doing ethical things, or doing ethical things to your clients, right, or to other employees? That make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just culture. I got so many things I want to say. I want to back up and talk about the kids one more second. I got a relatable story. My daughter, I walk in on her the other day. She's in a room playing, and she's moving solar panels. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm moving solar panels. Why are you moving panels? We got to get them out of the way for the roofers, Dad. She's in there pretending she's moving panels from one bed to the other, and so
her bedroom.
In her bedroom.
Not in the garage. Okay.
No, not on the roof, but she's got this, creative mind, and she's in there doing her thing oftentimes, and I like to pop in on her and see how I can, interject my 5 minutes I got to try and play with her real quick, and she's moving panels around. I'm like, man, you're absolutely right. They see what you're doing, and for me as a father, it becomes that motivator, right? Once you start realizing that they're picking up on negative and positive, you start self-reflecting and getting your shit together really quick, because you're making a bunch of mini-me's, and you're going like, well, I don't want them, because the bad habits in your life and the things that you're doing and the negatives, you see how that's negatively impacting your life in whatever way, and you don't want that for them, and you don't want it for yourself, really. And so
100%.
Use it as motivation to pull out of it, better yourself, change your family tree, change the history of what your kids could be and the direction and paths that they go along in life.
Right.
You're setting them up
the way they think about money.
Yeah.
Right? The way they think about money, they're like, oh, we can't get this. Why? Oh, because we can't afford it. Well, whose fault is it you can't afford it? Dad's. Why? Because he's not doing everything he can to provide for us and give us the life that we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he is settling.
Yeah.
That's the real answer.
And
they wouldn't say that. They would just say, oh, because we don't, because they come up with any other filter or excuse.
Right.
Instead of like, we don't have enough money to buy that, or we would buy that, or we could buy that. Or also another good lesson for kids is you haven't earned it. Yeah. That's the other part too. Well, why can't I get that? You haven't earned it. So there's a little game thingy. I'm not a gamer at all. Never been a gamer, like never had an Xbox, PlayStation growing up, like not my jam whatsoever. Like I was sports. Mm-hmm. So if I can go play an hour and a half basketball, I played even during any sport I was playing, I still woke up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, went to the church and played basketball from 5 to 6:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then would leave for school at 7. Yeah. 3 days a week, because that was just what I did. Yeah. I wasn't a gamer. It wasn't my thing. But my son, Cash, who's 8, it's called like a Nintendo Switch.
Okay, yeah, I've seen them.
It's like a Game Boy like this. I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea what it is. But all of his buddies play, and you can hook up to the internet, and they can play against each other and talk, and headsets and all that stuff. I'm like, cool. Like moderation in all things. Make that very clear, right? Number one. Number two is like, cool. You want to do that? Go buy it yourself. Mm-hmm. I would have bought it for him for like Christmas or his birthday, right? He's 8. Yeah. He's like, no. I was like, if you want it, you got to earn it. Okay. What can I do? Go take the trash out. Here's $1. Boom. Go bring the trash in from the street. Here's $1. Mm-hmm. Do it over time. It was like, I don't know much. It was a couple $100. So for his birthday and for Christmas, hey, what do you want? I want money. For what? So I can buy my Switch.
Yeah, not the Switch.
Not the Switch.
He'd been working toward the goal.
Yes.
He didn't want to just.
Because he knew he wasn't going to get the Switch. He knew he had to earn money to get the Switch. Yeah. Now you can earn money from Christmas and you can earn money from birthday. You are entitled to get something for your birthday, right? Well, what is it? Is it a toy? Is it a trinket? Is it a trip? Is it whatever? You want money. What do you want money for? Mm-hmm. Nobody says, I want money for my birthday to go put it in a savings account.
No, there's something.
What do you want? Right. What do you want it for? Mm-hmm. Right? And so freaking 8 years old, he went and bought a Switch like 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome. What a big day. And to see his face, I'm sure it's just reward, gratification.
And I know people,
handing it to him.
especially in high school, and the kid's like, oh, here's a truck, this and that. I know a lot of people that got handouts and they get brand new 2023 trucks from their parents. Totally cool. I don't care. But like, are you working and earning it though? Mm-hmm. Right? And I don't care if it's a 1993 or a 2023. Are you working to earn X or Y or Z? Yeah. I know a lot of people be like, hey, however much money you save up. One of my buddies just did it. He has a kid in high school. And it's like, whatever much money you work for and you save up, by the time you're 16 or 17 when you want to buy your own truck, whatever you save up, I'll double it.
Yeah, I love it.
So cool, I saved up $11,000, cool. You can go buy a $22,000 truck. Yeah. But instead of just like, here's a $22,000 truck, what did he learn? Yeah. He learned that my dad will give me whatever the fuck I want if I ask for it, if I bug him enough. Yeah. Because he has the money. Because he's like, there's a Kenny Klaus, write that one down too. Mm-hmm. Kenny Klaus, is a real estate agent here in the Valley, gangster, OG for 25 years. Been doing it a long time. You know Ty Lusk.
No.
I'll introduce him. Yeah. So Ty, he works with Ty. Okay. Or Ty works with him. Okay. Anyway, so he was on my podcast, and there's a book. I'll have to give it to you. I think it's like it's something along the lines of like die with zero. I think that's what it's called. I'll have to get it on here. We can put it on a reel. But I think it's die with zero or something like that. So the whole goal was like when you leave, people will leave and they give all this money to their kids. Like it's a terrible idea. Right. Terrible idea. They're gonna blow it. It's like winning the lottery. Right. People win the lottery, 98% of them go bankrupt. Literally bankrupt. And they're in worse position than they were before they won the lottery. Why? They didn't learn anything. They didn't learn money. They didn't learn how to earn money, keep money, make money, grow money. Right? They just got a handout. When you get handouts, it's so easy to spend because you didn't earn it. But when you earn it, you're like, shit. As much as I hate Dave Ramsey, you pay something with cash compared to swiping a card or a Venmo or a Zelle, there is a tangible psychological moment where you feel that leaving you and you're never going to get it back.
Yeah.
So when you go pay stuff, but that's why it's so easy. People are blowing through their fucking money is because you can tap this and swipe left. Amazon.
It's too easy now.
Yeah. What if you had to pull out every time you or your wife want to buy something from Amazon? You had to go to the bank, pull out money, then go and buy this. Shit would get cut in half.
Yeah.
Just why? But why don't we do it? Because it's convenience.
They're taking all the friction out of it, which
Yes.
even as business owners, that's what we're trying to do for our customers,
Totally.
our clients too. So we get it, and it's how do we make it just seem as seamless as possible?
So we call it a one-stop shop, just like we do with you guys.
And that's why we work so well together. Is because we give that to roofers to State 48 when their solar panels in the way. It's not a, hey, you go figure it out thing anymore. It's a one-stop shop thing now. We've got all your problems answered. We've got all the solutions that you need to make this easy, to make it seamless. You just sign here and don't worry about it. We'll have it done in a couple weeks.
Yeah, when you come to a roof, normally you run into three things. You run into gutters, you run into solar, and you run into paint, right? Some sort of paint touch-up. Because you're going to put new flashings on. They're going to be galvanized or they're going to be black or brown and not the color of the home that was painted. It's not going to be this, off Dunn Edwards, whatever color, drip edger thing. It's just not going to be that, right? So because it's not that, it's an inconvenience for the homeowner. Instead of like, hey, would you like us to paint your flashings? We're going to charge you for it, but I don't want to go paint all those flashings on a 2-story, right? On a tile roof when it's 115 outside. Cool, not a problem. I have a painter. For this price, we'll go do it.
Yeah.
Gutters. You have gutters. We need to pull your gutters off in order to drop the drip edge, in order to drop the 1x4 or whatever. So do you have a gutter guy? Nope. Well, we have 2 of them. Here's a gutter referral. Or hey, I'll take care of that and I'll just charge you for it. Yeah. Okay, cool. And they're solar panels. Oh, cool. We need to pull them off. Do you have somebody to pull them off? No. And this and this. And you know how much it costs? No. Okay. Well, I have somebody and I know how much it costs. So instead of my roof being 20 grand, it's now 28 grand.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why is it 28 grand? Well, guess what? Remember how I told you you need a painter, you need a gutter guy, and you need a solar guy? Well, guess what? I have all 3 of those in there. Their fees altogether are $8,000. 28,000 gets you an out the door price.
Everything. And
instead of 20, and then you have to go get 3 paint quotes, you have to go get 3 gutter quotes, that you now have to go back to researching and finding people that good ratings, good reviews, they're credible, they're reputable, still in business type stuff. Yeah. Whereas I have all of them in my back pocket. That's why, as you're one of our power partners, because when we run into solar, we use that as a closing tool because we do everything in-house. Not literally, they're not, a W-2,
right.
But you're a power partner and I know what you charge and I can get pricing in a matter of seconds, not like, oh, in 2 or 3 more days we'll get a quote and oh, he's 3 weeks out. No. I get special pricing from you, which I get to pass on to the homeowner. I get special scheduling from you because of volume that I can also pass on to them. So like, oh yeah, normally we're 6 weeks out, but for Jason State 48, boom, see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I love it. And this is how we're bridging the gap because it's,
that is how you bridge the gap.
Exactly, because we're how many roofers are in the state? We always say
900
something, right?
900.
So I'm working with 80, maybe 100, somewhere in there, depending on. Out of that, maybe 10 of those roofers are on the level you're on, where they've understand it that we are a tool. We are something that our company.
You're an asset.
An asset, but you're using us effectively in terms of, hey, we've got it. Still, a lot of the roofers I'm even working with, they're saying, yeah, here's a lead tie. You go figure it out, which is great. At least they have a solution for the customer. But we are winning more jobs because what I always ask is, hey, when I'm talking to the customers, how many roof bids did you get? I say, I got from the 3, 4, 5. It's a big project. Most people get at least. How many would you say?
A minimum 3.
Yeah, minimum 3.
Minimum 3, unless it's like a repeat customer. But yeah, some random person that's looking on Facebook or on Google or on Yelp, they get at least 3 up to 7.
So do the math. You've got 10 roofers in the state using solar detach and reset as effectively as possible. The customers are getting 3 to 5 bids. Are you beating out those 4 other roofers when they're all saying, oh, you have solar, go find someone and let us know when you do. And then boom, then now when your guys show up, and that's not the case. And like, well, 3 other people said I had to go figure this out. I already started calling people, but you're taking all that off my plate, and you're just gonna.
And you know somebody, and they've done dozens of jobs for you, and giving you 5-star reviews.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So what if you cost more? Let's go, because you're saving me time, headache, worry, having to go find someone. You're making it seamless and streamlined. And so as we continue to work with more roofers, pushing them and getting them to understand that is key. And I've got my opinion of it, but I'm curious, what do you think the future of roofing and solar looks like 10 years from now? There's so many systems going up. 2 out of 10 houses maybe have solar. 3 out of 10. 1 out of 10. What would you say?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a great question.
We know it's going this way though.
It's going up.
It's going up.
I don't know how long
increasing.
solar is going to be around.
And neither do I.
I don't
Depending
know.
how long the government supports
But
it.
once it's on, even if you don't take it off and put it back on, it still has to come off.
It has to come
And
off.
there's still power attached to it. And I'm not licensed
Right.
to do that no matter what. So even if like solar takes a shit and we're not installing any more solar because the government got involved or SRP or APS gets to stick up their ass, whatever. That's the reason why I don't personally sell solar. I know it's $1 billion industry. I know people that are making hand over fist buying yachts because they sell solar. That's great. But like my gut tells me that that's why I can't do the healthcare again. I've never gotten healthcare. Why? Because the government is so attached to that. The government has no rules or regulations or any attachment to roofing. Meaning in Arizona, I don't have to pull a permit to do roof. Like I'm doing Tommy Mello's roof, 45,000 square feet.
So like for like.
And guess what? Yeah, pull it off, put it back on. Done.
Yeah.
I don't have to pull a permit. I don't have to do anything. Literally, I can start it tomorrow morning if I wanted to. But with the solar guys, you have to get APS involved. You have to get those guys involved. You got to get a permit involved, and then you got to, blah 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 blah. It's time. It's just time consuming, and it's such a long drawn out process. And then you have a roof that's involved, or you got to run more conduit. Or you got to put a new transformer. You got to do. There's all kinds of shit that's involved with it. Some people love it and they thrive on it. That's great. But the other part too is it's a shady industry because this 90% of solar guys are not educating and adding value. They're there for the quick buck. There's massive rebates going on, and so it's very lucrative for them. It's a 25-year loan. The interest rates are almost still nothing. It's not, people think, oh, interest rates. They think of homes. They're not 7%. They're still in like the 2s or 3s. That's a 25-year loan, right? So it's a no-brainer. So they'll bundle all this stuff, but they don't care about you and your roof. No. They just want to put panels on. The second they turn panels on, they get paid, they get their commission, and they're gone.
Yep.
And then they disappear.
Yeah.
I hate all of that. None of that sounds appealing to me at all.
Would you say that's what you hate most about the solar industry? It's not that they're damaging the roof, breaking the tile, all that sucks too, but it's more of a big picture as a whole.
They might break tile on purpose or an accident, but most of the guys that they break it, they don't even tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
They're solar guys.
Yeah, we got a
solar
roof
turned on. The permit passed. We got the check. Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
our warranty's 2 years. By the time that leaks, we're long gone.
They're long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you and I got up and did a roof, right, with Dakota and recorded some stuff. Some of those tiles were broken from day one. And that particular guy, when he built the house, he put solar on as part of the build. Yeah. And that was only a 18-year-old roof.
So it's almost like he put a ticking time bomb up there on the house when he put solar on.
But we only warranty it for 2 years. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But when I'm giving 10, 20, 30-year warranties, I don't get a chance. That's why I'm more expensive. Why? Because I'm giving 10, 20, and 30-year warranties, not 2s. ROC is 2, right? Most guys only give 5s. I give 10s, 20s, and 30s. Why? Because I stand behind my shit. But it also has to be very dialed in. My guys can't go faster. They have to be more efficient, right? They cannot go faster because they will make mistakes, right? I can't use half-assed materials because the material craps out before my warranty goes out. Then I'm losing money. You know how it is. The second time you go back to a property, you start losing money. As long as you do it right the first time, everybody wins. Second time, the owner of the business starts losing money.
Profits are getting cut into.
Yeah, plain and simple. And apart from that, then it's a compound effect of bad reviews and reputation and insurance claims, right? And then you got an insurance claim because you soaked a house, you flooded a bedroom or a bathroom or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to is like, that's why I'd be like, Jason, you're expensive. I just heard somebody, you're $10,000 higher than the other guy. And I was like, whose fault is that? I'm like, I'm sorry, he's not bidding his job to stay in business. Tommy Mellon teaches this like crazy. Have you ever seen the Rolex guy selling Rolex watches? Like, oh yeah, this watch $25,000, but like, man, that's expensive. Oh, I'll give it to you for $8,900. No, motherfucker, it's $25,000. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Brad Lee did a reel about this too. He's like, do the guys that sell the Lamborghini do like, oh, it's $310,000? It's like, oh, but you want a better price? I'll give you 10% off and do it for $280.
No,
bro,
that's what it is.
It's $310. Why? Because we're the shit.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how we are. Are we perfect? No. Do Lamborghinis fail? Yes. Do they go bad? Do they have issues? They have callbacks? Sure they do. Mercedes, like all these guys, like high-end vehicles, high-end products. I'm sorry, a Rolex doesn't lose a diamond or doesn't lose a spinner little thingy in the watch. Of course it does.
Yeah.
Right? But the product itself and the experience is worth it to where people will pay tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for that experience. Right? Do you want to roll into the whole Lowe's thing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the paid ads?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting into paid ads ourselves, we're just starting to dip our toe in that water. Went and met up with someone local. Just even learning about it, because we've been doing a lot of organic posts at our
which is
company,
great.
but there's a cap on that, right?
I built a $10 million roofing business off of organic social media.
Yeah, and when we started coaching together, part of the formula to doing that successfully is add how many friends every day, right? Because you need
10.
Because you need eyeballs. Those are your viewers.
Dude, I added 10 on, even with the reach and the follow that I have, I literally added 10 people this morning.
Yeah.
I went on and found somebody that followed me. I went in there and I liked it. And then Instagram and Facebook want you to stay on their platform and hook up with more friends on their platform.
Yeah.
So they'll say, people we recommend you follow, right? Or they're following you just haven't followed them back.
Yep.
Type deal. You go through there and you can go through like 30 of them. All you have to do is like, I personally recommend doing more intense. You don't get spammed, because some people do like hundreds and then they get spammed, or they get blocked for a while. But just do 10 a day. Do 10 a day, 365 days a year. Dude, that's in 2 years you've already maxed out your friends list. 2 years, year and a half actually.
Yeah. When you first told me, I'm like, I'll do 100 a day. So I'm in there just zipping away. My wife got a little mad when I was doing that. She was like, well, now Facebook's going to think these types of people you like, and they're going to want more of those. Like, stop, let me do it, because I'll just friend roofers and everyone in the roofing industry.
Right.
Now we're changing the algorithm, and now Facebook's like, here's everyone that has anything to do
Here's
with roofing.
all 900 roofers
and
suppliers.
Thank God I married someone smarter than me. And so now she handles the adding and still continues to do that. But still, you get the traction, and it's great, and it's beneficial, and it's changing the game. But you hit this point, and I want to tie this into a little bit of the Michael Burnoff podcast that you had me listen to the other day of you hit a cap of your old self. You have to outgrow and change and scale and let the old self die to get to the next level. And so I feel like we're just hitting this cap and everything's going good and with social, but what is the next level? How do we take action fast on it? And so that's why we're poking into paid ads. And because it removes the cap of viewers, right? Now we can start targeting people in the roofing industry in any Tucson, whatever area of Arizona you want, but also Facebook, they already put in the work of knowing who people are, so you can target them specific. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing with paid ads and who you're working with on it and why it's important to you.
So when it comes to paid ads, it's very simple, very similar to social media. Social media guys like, oh, we'll get you more followers, we'll get you more likes, we'll do your posting for you and all this other stuff. 95% of those people are 100% full of shit, and they work from their house. They don't have a team. It's a one-off thing, and they use some software that posts for them. I worked with a girl who still does this to this day. I'm not going to blast her, but she's like, oh, we'll create all this content for you, blah, blah, blah. I have to get her the content. So I have to get her the pictures. I have to get her the videos. And then she takes those and then puts them into a software where then she can timely release them once a day, every day for 30 days. And I'm like, so you're really not doing that for me. But what about stories? Like, where are my 4 or 5, 10 stories a day? Right? So like, oh, I'll give you one post a day every day. I'm like, one post a day isn't going to give you enough traction. It's just not. Do math. If you post once a day and I post 4 times a day over a year, I'm going to smoke your ass. I just am. Right? Now, take away that, let's say you do 1, I do 4, and apart from that, now, the only thing is when I do a post and you do a post, your post is only as strong as the eyeballs that see it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Your post is only as strong as the eyeballs that see it, because if it's a reel, even if it's a reel, it can go viral because a reel will send out to the universe with your hashtags and the way you're doing it. But if you do a post, if you only have 3,200 people following you, only 3,200 people can, even if it's the best freaking video, it's an amazing cut, it's awesome, only 3,200 people are going to see that because the algorithm says, show his friends only, right? Well, have your friends, or 2/3 of your friends, 80% of your friends do not cut you a check.
Yeah.
Why are you following all these roofers? Why? Because your Mrs. Hutchings, right? Tyler Sr. doesn't cut you a check. Why? He's not sold on his freaking house.
Yeah.
He doesn't cut you a check. He's not your client.
No.
Right? So that's what it comes down to is you need to go find and follow people that can transact with you, number 1. Number 2, when you run an ad, you can tell Facebook and Instagram, dog whistle copy, right? Who is your target market? Who is your golden goose client? Where do they live? How old are they? What's the zip code? What age are they? Household income, right? Value the property income, like the the cost of the home, right, for real
Very
estate.
specific. Yeah.
Very, very specific. And then it's a numbers game, right? Business is math. Business is math. It's very simple. So when you throw X number of dollars at something, if you throw $100 a day, and you throw $100 a month, and I throw $100 a day, I'm going to win. Why? Because Facebook is siding in my favor because I'm giving them more money. They have all the followers. They have the reach. You don't. That's why you're paying them to show you more people. Because you've maxed out your organic reach. You can only reach so many people, talk to so many people, and your social media presence can only get to so many people. Facebook owns everybody.
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah.
Right? And so those billions of people, Facebook can say, cool, in this area, part of Arizona, whatever it is, right, that everyone, maybe they might even, I mean, depending on how crazy you get, might even not be via Facebook or Instagram, but you can say, hey, give me all homeowners that have solar. Give me all people that have pulled a permit for solar in the past 24 months, 36 months, 5 years, whatever, right? You can filter it down that much. And there's softwares that can do that, right?
Yeah.
And by doing that, then you run an ad and you can push it to there, and it depends on just how much money you want to throw at it. The other part too is like you do one ad and you throw a ton of money at it, like, oh, I only got 1 or 2 leads out of it. Cool, well, was it the right ad?
So now you're going to get into the data of what are your ads doing, and now you're talking about pattern recognition and what's working and what's not, and how to turn it into pattern utilization and start working this in your favor. Like, let's take the money from this and put it into that now.
Yeah, well, instead of putting $1,000 to one ad, why don't you do 10 ads at $100 and see which one works? Then when you see which one works, then you put fuel on that fire.
Right.
You don't continue to fuel the other 9. The other 9s are duds.
Yeah.
Right? So two worked out of the 10. What happens when we run ads, and if you do the boost, it's as simple as the boost button, right? Because they want everybody to do that because they make trillions of dollars a year from it.
Gosh.
So by doing that, the reason why people hate ads or think ad agencies don't work is because you tried it, you're not the professional, you know what the hell you're doing. That's why I third party my ad agency out. Why? I've never ran ads. 14 years in the roofing industry, I've never ran an ad. I didn't run an ad when I was at my uncle's or the other company I worked for or State 48 Roofing. I've never done it. So all of a sudden I'm going to be an ads pro in a matter of a couple weeks, a couple months? No. Was I a badass roofer in a couple weeks or a couple months? Was Solar Detach and Reset badass overnight in a couple weeks, couple months? No. Carlos Reyes, all these guys talk about it. Like, oh, overnight success. Yeah, 10-year overnight success.
Yeah.
10 years of overnight success. Right? You think overnight's only one night. No. They said the 10-year overnight success. Right? I'm 14. That's what it comes down to. But I also have that niche. So what you do is you go find somebody that has that 10 or 14 years of experience in running ads and proven, right? And that's what we did. We had an event. Our organic local reach only got us about 150 or so in about 2 or 3. It was a 6-week time frame from when we announced it to actually throwing the event, which is actually not very long.
Did Lowe's do the paid ads for that?
Yes.
He did? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So we only had 150
Great
organically.
freaking turnout, by the way. You guys, if you don't know about this event, you got to check it out.
We're going to be selling the recordings. So,
oh my gosh.
And we're going to be running ads to sell the recordings.
Oh, it's so good on it. And I don't mean to turn it from the ads, but this event, I felt like the primary focus at the event, you know, it's about scaling and marketing, right? That's how it was advertised. But
sales,
and there's dozens and dozens of nuggets on all that stuff. But I noticed a reoccurring theme that I didn't expect to notice and had nothing to do with sales or marketing or business. And it was taking care of yourself. And it was health. And what are you doing to yourself first to make sure that you can handle all these other areas and do this thing. And I want to say thank you for that because you bring me back into line, right? I go and I start doing my own hustle. I'm grinding. I'm every day. We have an event. Jason shakes me a little bit, wakes me up and makes me go, I'm not taking care of myself right now.
Yeah.
My wife is suffering for it. My kids are suffering for it, and my business is suffering for it. And that's why he's talking about this so much.
Right.
And that needs to be the biggest nugget that I take out of this. Because if I don't take that first, all this other shit I've written down is useless. I'm not going to implement it. I'm so stressed. I'm just stressed. I'm stressed.
You have no energy.
Yeah, no energy. Right? I'm done. Yeah.
Your sex life and your dating life with your wife is abysmal. Is garbage.
My team sees it.
Yeah.
My family sees it, and they don't want to follow that.
Yeah.
Right?
You're neglecting your kids. You're not giving them the time they need.
Right.
They're not asking for 4 hours a day. They want like a couple 30-minute spurts here and there. or a couple hours on a weekend here or there. They're not asking for. I want dad to be with me for 12 hours all day on a Saturday. You're not going to give it to him. Two, they don't even want that.
But what do they freaking deserve? Like, what are you even doing this for?
They deserve the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Just like your wife. Your wife is hot. I love your wife. She's a freaking G.
Amazing.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's
right?
awesome.
But it's the problem. The problem is people will. What I teach, apart from out of the State 48 stuff with my SBS stuff, right, with my scale business, is becoming the best version of yourself, reaching your true potential. Because if you make a ton of money and you and Sandra are miserable, that is not what God wants your life to be like.
No.
If you came down here and be like, awesome, Ty, you built this awesome, amazing business, you get to go to heaven. Oh, by the way, you're still married? What happened?
Yeah.
And most of the time you get divorced because of it. It just does.
Yeah.
50% of all marriages are ending in divorce right now. 50%.
Yeah. I wonder what it is for business owners.
Oh, it's got to be higher.
Yeah.
It's got to be higher, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because the stress levels and the longer nights. Like you work 8 to 5, 9 to 5. Like check in at 9, out at 5. You get 3-day weekends. You get your benefits and your paid vacations, all bullshit.
Yeah.
There's less opportunity for you to fuck up stuff or to bleed into family time, right? Or make it a priority. But like, I taught this from stage, and this is kind of my niche that I'm rolling with forever. This is I'm going to own this. Creating be obsessed. One of our core values, State 48 Roofing.
My favorite one, by the way.
Be obsessed. All that is talking about building in businesses. You are obsessed with pulling panels off and putting them back on. I am obsessed about roofing. I'm also obsessed about helping small business owners like you grow and scale, because 95% of us are gone in 5 years. 95%.
Yeah.
Gone in 5 years. So becoming the best version of yourself, reaching your true potential. And that goes for your mind. That goes for your spirit. That goes for your heart.
Yeah,
that goes for your finances. All those things. Like, so if we're supposed to be obsessed with providing a 5-star experience to our clients, that's all everybody teaches.
Yep.
Nobody says be obsessed. What if whatever church you go to, they got up on Sunday morning and said, hey, be obsessed with providing a 5-star experience to your spouse.
Yeah. Wow. Your whole.
Who teaches that? Nobody does. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches that or goes that deep, right? Is date night is it a priority? Is it happening at all? Are you scheduling it? Are you setting it up? Are you making it happen? Are you making her feel like a freaking $1 million for those 2 or 3 hours? Right. It's not 2 or 3 hours a day. It's not 2 or 3 hours. Like, it's literally once a week for 2 or 3 hours. Go balls in. Go all in on her for 2 or 3 hours. Make her feel like a freaking queen for 2 or 3 hours.
Yep.
But we don't. No. We let our phones, we let our watch, we let ESPN, we let a bar, we let this and this and this get in the way of that. Oh, I couldn't find a babysitter. How many times have we blown off date night because we couldn't find a babysitter? Yeah. All the time. At least in my opinion, right? Yeah. And we come up with excuses not to do that. And then we go do that, and it's half-assed. Oh, let's just go to this little thing here. Let's go get ice cream real quick for 30 minutes. Bro, that is your soulmate.
You're on the phone. Yeah, you're
yes, put your fucking phone away. Where's my phone right now? Yeah. Where's my phone right now?
I haven't seen it once.
It's on the ground 3 feet away from me, flipped upside down.
Yeah.
My watch is still freaking, I don't know why my watch is ringing. It's not supposed to be moving, but it is. But like, I haven't looked down.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm giving the listeners and you 110% undivided attention for 60 to 90 minutes. Yeah. You don't even fucking do that with your wife. You have it all wrong, man. You just do. Sean Whalen is the epitome of that. He taught me that. Like, he changed my fucking life.
Yeah.
With his podcast, with his social media presence. I'm buddies with him too. I talked to him on the phone and whatnot, and he's spoken at our event. But like, that's what it is. Like, you do that. Same with your kids. Like, dude, I swear on my life, my kids would do this. They haven't done it in like 6 months because I made it a priority, right? And it was embarrassing. I'd be at home, I'd be on my phone doing this, and they'd be like, Dad, and I'd be like so glued to my phone. So, dude, it could be social media. It might be work. It might be an email. It might be a social media post. Maybe I'm just like scrolling through reels watching cat videos. It doesn't matter. The fact is that I'm on my phone and not being present with my kids. You don't have to be present with your kids 110% of the time when you're at your house either. I also believe that you as a human get to disconnect yourself. But when it's time to be a dad and time to be involved with them, be 100% committed and 100% involved with them. Just like me and you are on this podcast right now, be 100% committed. So I'd be down here like this. My 4-year-old Oakley would literally come and put his hand in front of my screen.
Yeah.
You've heard that before, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
I'd literally be like this, and I'd move his hand and be like, dude, what's your problem?
Yeah.
And to a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What do you want?
Yeah.
And what he's really he's screaming inside, give me attention, make me a priority. I am here. Put your fucking phone away. Your phone is not more important than me. You think it is, but it's not. So he'll literally come and put his hand in front of my phone. Right? That is not okay. So what you need to do is when you go home, and by the way, if you think your business is going to collapse because you put your phone down for 30 minutes or an hour to play with your kids, you don't have a fucking business. You're a high-paid employee and you're a piece of shit.
Yep.
And your priorities are completely fucked up.
Yeah.
And you need to change that, or you need to not work for me. I do not want my employees doing that. I want my employees to have amazing relationships with their spouses. I want them to have amazing relationships with their kids. And because if they do both of those things, and it's 4 things. So it's family. Sorry, it's not family. It's kids. If you have kids, obviously 90% of us have kids. It's kids, spouse, personal, business. It's those 4. Because what happens if you're an amazing dad? And what happens if you're an amazing husband? And you're an amazing business owner? But you're a fat fuck.
You're not going to last long enough to enjoy any of that.
Dude,
stuff.
you're gonna freaking throw a blood clot and you're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna get diabetes, you're gonna be toast, right? Or you're gonna be so out of shape and so messed up here that you can't even give that 5-star experience with your kids. You can only give a 4 because you're so fat and out of shape.
You don't have the energy.
You don't have the energy.
Yeah.
You get burnt out after 10 seconds. You can't even give them 30 or 60 minutes. Not being weird, but like in the bedroom, can you last that long?
Yeah.
It's also stamina. It's also like not being weird. It is what it is.
Go to the business too. It's the same.
Yes.
Same thing
Are you
there.
burnt out at 1 o'clock as a business owner? And you can't give another 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And you have to pound energy, 10 energy drinks.
The fourth quarter.
Yes. Yes. Like that. That's what it comes down to. The fourth quarter, you're burnt out. Why? Because you're not making yourself a priority. Because you're not working on yourself. And when you're not working on yourself, I posted this the other day. You cannot give a 5-star experience to anyone or anything if you are not performing at a 5-star level.
I love it. Can you give us the morning routine really quick? Because this was the biggest game changer for me to getting myself back on track. And I mean, for me, tell me if I'm missing anything. I'm going on walks. I'm doing a workout, so I got the weight vest. Ordered that weight vest.
Oh, that's right.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I think it'll be in here.
So the reason for a walk. So there's 3 different types of walks, right? I'll blow through this fast.
Okay.
There's 3 different types of walks. There's the half-ass walk where I literally saw a dude on a walk and he's smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, why are you even walking? But you go on a walk. What happens when you go on a walk? You start to get your blood flowing, and your brain starts to turn on and starts to get current, get it moving. Even if you're not carrying anything and you're just walking. Even just a 30-minute walk on a sidewalk, not a crazy hill, not hiking, no vest. At least you're doing something. Give me something. That'll get your brain flowing. Most people wake up and they go right to their phone and they go into the shower, they get dressed, and they're at work.
Which is what I was
your
doing.
brain is not functioning. So you go in at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning to go and crank out. What if I you know what I mean? What if I would have came here at 9 o'clock in the morning and I literally had rolled out of bed? Would I be able to perform a 5-star level experience of a podcast if I just rolled out of bed 5 minutes ago? No. You got to get your body up and going and moving. It was just in a dormant state. It was in a subconscious state for 6, 7, 8 hours. You need to get out of that and get up and get going. So that's number 1. So any sort of a walk or exercise. Number 1. Number 2, I personally believe that a vest is huge. A vest will put pressure on you, and it's a mental thing. You're adding additional pain to your body. That is a strength. That is a mental win. Now you have a mental win before you even look at your phone, before you touch your wife, before you touch your kids, before you touch your business or your clients or your employees. You work on yourself. You put pressure to grow yourself with that vest. Now, if you want to hop on a treadmill and do a 15-degree incline at a 3-speed for 6 months, hit me back up in 6 months. You'll feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
You'll sweat your royal balls off if you do 45 minutes.
Yeah.
45 minutes, 15-degree angle, 3-speed. I did it for 6 months. I lost 22 pounds.
Game changer.
But I'm able to maintain it. Yeah. The third one with that walk is when you go on that walk, when you're done with that 30 or 45-minute walk, your body is, your adrenaline's going, you're the train that's already moving. You're not just sitting at the station, right? So when you wake up in the morning, your train is literally camped out and parked. It's not moving. You got to get it going. And it just doesn't turn over in 2 seconds. It takes you a while to get going. It could take 20, 30 minutes. It doesn't take 2 or 3 hours, right? But you do it, and I do it early in the morning because my wife's not awake, my kids aren't awake, my employees, I'm a roofer, so my employees are awake, but they're not bugging me yet, and clients aren't awake. So 3 out of 4 of them are not, go Devils, 3 out of 4 of them are not bugging me, right? Or are not a priority at that particular time. That's me time. right? And my employees know, call somebody else or deal with it or figure it out. Or be proactive the night before and say, hey, from 5:30 to 7, you can't get a hold of me. Plain and simple. 5:30 to 7, there's, except for like recording commercials or stuff like that, it's a one-off. 99% of the time, Monday through Sunday, 5:30 to 7 is Jason time.
Yeah.
But what happens is nobody, no church, no school, nobody teaches you to fucking work on yourself and make yourself a priority and listen to a podcast. Right? That's why I sent you that one. When's the last time you listened to a podcast before that one?
Yep. I'm every day now.
You're every day now.
Yeah. It's either audiobook, motivational videos, most times both, or podcast.
But you've been in this sphere for a year now. So you knew that, like, if I need to level up, I mean, you may have been doing that before then too. But the average business owner does not make that a priority.
No.
They do. Here's the thing: the difference between doers and winners and the have-nots are we do shit when it's inconvenient. When shit's inconvenient, we still do it. But when shit hits the fan, people shut down. When it's inconvenient, we don't work out. We go out of town for a conference, I'm not going to work out. I worked out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning of the event that I threw. I did leg day with my employees. You remember this? With my employees, with my staff, Wednesday morning before throwing a 14-hour event.
Yeah.
From 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. I was at the venue going at it, and I still did leg day at 5 o'clock with my guys. And the next day, sore as shit and tired. Just physically drained.
But what did that do for you mentally? Like, you overcame that, you did that still, and it goes, I'm thinking about Kobe as you're talking about this, because he outworked, outperformed, was out practicing, out shooting, before a game, Tiger Woods too, right? And Ed Milet was talking about this, and he brought out this magazine, one of the podcasts he was recently discussing, talking about these high-performing athletes, and he's been carrying around this magazine, Ed Milet has, for the last 25 years. It's in pristine condition. He must have it in a sleeve or something, but
sure.
The article just consisted of how Tiger was able to outwork and outperform, and Kobe, these everybody else in the field, and how he wanted to take that into business,
right?
And copy what's the secret sauce. And
well,
how do I do that?
There's 900 roofing contractors. How many of them are working? Just gut. What's your gut say? Out of 900, how many of them wake up and work on themselves in any way, shape, or form every day?
10%.
10%. So I just beat out just from waking up early and working on myself for 30 to 45 minutes a day. I prefer an hour and a half. 30 to 45 minutes. You just said only 10% of us do. So out of 900, only 90 do. So I just beat out 810 of my competitors. So there's 90% left. Yeah. How many of them work out and do those type of things? And then you can take business-wise, take it to the next level, right? How many of them have a 14-step follow-up process for their sales team?
Now we're down to 3 to 5. Yeah.
A dozen?
Yeah, maybe.
A dozen out of 900.
Yeah.
So now it's me against 10 other dudes. And guess what? 90%, 10% of the people do 90% of the work.
Yep.
Some people say 80-20. Brandon Dawson says 80-20, but even go 80-20. So I don't know, Jonathan, what's 80% of 900? Sorry, what's 20% of 900? On your phone. What's 20% of 900? Well, 10% is 90, so
180 people-ish.
180.
Yeah.
Right, so there's 180 contractors in Arizona that do 100% of the work.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the part I'm trying to get at. So there's only you're only competing against 180.
Right.
In general, naturally. So I already beat out the other hundreds. So as 180, like you said, probably 10% of those would be 18. 18 of those dudes wake up, work on their business, have a follow-up process, get bids out. How many of them do sales training with their team every single day?
Oh gosh, super rare now.
One hand.
Yeah.
Out of 900. You seriously went from 900 to like a dozen? I can work on the dozen, piece of cake. The dozen is a separation from crumble cookies to marketing to podcasts to coaching to social media content to all those things. That puts you in that top 5.
Yeah.
Business is math. I just proved it right now. Business is math. It just went from 900. How do you get in the top 10, Jason? And honestly, I'd say I'm top 10, not top 10. I'm the top 10% in the entire country. There's 90,000 roofing contractors. And I'd say I'm in the top 100, not 900.
Yeah.
In less than 4 years.
It's just doing the things that no one else is willing to do, knows how to do, or in continuing to grow and think about, like, how do I get to the next level? What is it still that no one else is doing? We were talking about something you were going to be doing for marketing coming up that you're working on this morning. How many people are doing that? Not many. And so
2.
your next level, next
that I
level,
know of.
next
In
level.
Arizona, out of 900, I only know 2 that are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Out of 900.
But once you're done with that, I have no doubt you're going to be thinking, what's next? What's next? And
Yes.
you're continuing. It's a mindset thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the biggest takeaway is consistency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you can be an amazing husband for one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You can be my wife used to call me the Disneyland dad. You're at Disneyland. Whenever you're home, you just get to go do all the fun shit. You don't have to do the disciplining and cleaning up all the messes and all that stuff. And so I was like, ooh, that hurt. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be a Disneyland dad because I want to be consistent in what I'm doing. So you work. By the way, if you go work out once a week, you're never going to get in shape. Right? You're just not. You go on your vested workout, walk once a week.
Yeah.
You will never. Nothing will change. Your mental state will not change either because there's not enough of it for you to make a change. That's why I say a habit isn't from one workout. It's not one. If you do this once a week, every week, it's like church stuff. You pray to God once a week. You don't got a relationship with God. You show up when it's convenient. When is it convenient? Sunday. Why? Because nobody's calling you for work, right? Everybody knows it's Sunday. It's God's day, so you go to church. You only talk to God one day a week. You don't have a relationship with God. Talk to your wife once a week. Guess what happens? Divorced. Hang out with your kids once a week. When they get older, they're who's dad? Oh, dad's working. Dad's not here. You're not a father figure. Yeah. You're just a freaking sperm donor at that point.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be consistent, whatever you're doing. Do you tie your shoes once a week? No, you tie them every freaking day. You put them on every single day. You brush your teeth. You brush teeth once a week. You're either going to freaking be black and they're going to fall out, right? Working out. You work out once a week. What happens when you work out once a week? You get sore as fuck. And then what happens? You spend the other 5 days like feeling sore because you're not working out those muscles over and over and over again. Personal development. You listen to a podcast, like I sent you that one. You listen to one once a week. Cool, high five. But a habit is built, some say 21 days, some say 30 days, but it's 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, get your daily routines down. Get intentional with your time.
Every day for 3 to 4 weeks.
Put it on the calendar every single day, even if it's the date night or spending time with your kids. If you got to put spending time with the kids on the calendar, and I don't have it on my calendar. I'll be straightforward, but I freaking want it on there, and it's a matter of just doing it.
Mine's 5 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
5 to 8, because guess what? After 8 o'clock, my wife's like, dude, you can go back to work. Because sometimes here's the thing, as a business owner and as a hustler, you got to put in the work, man. You cannot, Ed Milet talks about the 21-day work week, right? You cannot just work from 9 to 5 on your job and think you're going to be successful. It might happen. It's going to take you decades. It might take you 30 or 40 years. And by then, your body's broken and you can't enjoy yourself. Like that's all it's for. But so you gotta wake up earlier and put in the hours early in the morning. You gotta stay later, but do not neglect the people that you're doing it for. You're doing it for your wife. You're doing it for your kids, right? You're doing it for yourself. So don't neglect yourself or your wife or your kids. Make them a priority. It's not for hours a day, guys. It's just not. I had a business partner that had this totally backwards, right? He's also fat and makes bad choices. But like the principle of it being, I chose to make my kid. I got shit. I said I go home at 5 o'clock. They're like, "You're a pussy. You're not committed. You're not this and that." Blah blah. I was like, "I am committed. I'm just not committed to you after 5 o'clock."
Yeah.
And you don't like that. I don't give a fuck.
That's it. Not caring. Yeah.
And guess what? It's anything like judge me for it. Cool. I don't care. But from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, it's almost impossible to get hold of me. I'm not on social media. I'm with my kids. I'm helping make dinner. I'm doing baths. I'm doing bedtime routine. I'm spending quality time with my kids, whether they're going to the pool or jumping on the trampoline or doing a craft or going to Fat Cats or doing whatever. Right? And then I spend a little bit of time with my wife. Also 30 minutes to an hour. It might go from 8 to 10, whether that's sex, whether that's sitting in a bathtub, right? Just talking, just going back and forth, asking her how her day was, or working. Maybe we're planning a trip. Maybe we're looking at finances. We're looking at another investment, starting another business, right? All those things. Give her that 30. She does not need she doesn't even want more than an hour. My opinion. This is my relationship. This is how I function, by the way. This isn't how you function. But what I did say is that I give my wife undivided attention every single day for a specific time. So it's not about the quantity of time, it's about the quality of the time.
And the consistency that you do.
But you have to be consistent. So it's like that time that I get with my kids, It is consistent now. And they know my phone, I put it on a charger in the other room because it's so distracting. If it's that close to me, I'll pick it up and look at it. It's a drug. It just is. Just fucking own it. But get rid of the drug. Put the joint in the other room. Put the cocaine, go snort it after 8 o'clock. Yep. That's literally what a phone is. That's literally all it is. I don't care who you are, 100% full of shit. If you're like, no, you're full of shit. If you pay attention, if I had a camera to follow you, how many times you took your phone out a day, you'd be like, holy shit. It's an addiction. It's okay, especially if it makes you money. That thing makes me money. Yours makes you money, right? Some people it doesn't make you money, right? And so it's not as tempting to open it or pull it out, but then you get all the apps and you get the Amazons and you get the Targets and you get the Pinterest and all that other bullshit. So it's not even making you money at that point. You're just losing money. Yeah, it's just like it's a time sucker. Yeah. But like whatever you're doing, be intentional. Yeah. When you're working with your employees, be intentional with your staff meeting. Be there with your team. Right? I make my team, I have 75 employees, 25 of us train every single day on a platform. Every single day. We have a meeting from 8:30 to 9. Why did I say I couldn't do an 8:30 podcast? Because you guys saw me, I left. I went and hopped on my Zoom meeting for 30 minutes with my team. There's 25 people on there. Dory runs it. And we hop on and we give our wins for the day. Everybody has to give a win and everybody has to give a takeaway from the training they got from the night before. A nugget. Every single day, Monday through Friday. Non-negotiable. Every single one of them. And if you miss or if you don't train, I'll be up your ass.
So you don't have that person on the team. It's like, oh, I didn't watch the video, or oh, I don't have a win. It's like, no, you come with a win and make sure you watch the video.
And they'll be like, I didn't have time to train. No, you had time to train. You just chose to not wake up early enough to train, or you chose to sleep in, or to work out, or to have sex, or to make breakfast. Right? Oh, I made breakfast for my kids. Cool, but you made that a priority instead of training. Wake up earlier and make breakfast earlier, or wake up earlier and train earlier. You can't wake up earlier? I'm sorry, does the government does the universe say you can't wake up earlier? No. And a lot of times, I taught this before too, a lot of times we are not going to bed early enough in order to perform in the morning that we need to. Yeah. So we're talking about getting up earlier, making yourself working out, right? Exercising, making yourself a priority. If your day starts with your team at 6 a.m. and you wake up at 5:30, you are fucked. Yep. And you go to bed at midnight or 11, you're not getting good enough sleep to even wake up earlier to make yourself a priority.
It's not going to last. There's no way.
There's got to be, so you need to consistently, and my dad taught me this, funny enough, all the old guys taught me this back in the day. Gray hairs, grandpas of the world. Early to fall, early to rise. Early to bed, early to rise, or whatever that saying is, right? Like, go to bed early, wake up early. And I'm like, go to bed early. I was like, I don't want to go to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock. As you get older, your body wants to do that, but my brain wants to do that. Because after 8 or 9 o'clock, your body is spent, your brain is spent, and your efficiency as a human is like jack shit. Yeah. It just is. Right? That's what do we do? We do mind-numbing tasks after 9 o'clock. But we'll do it for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. We'll do the reels. We'll do the reel searching. We'll watch Shark Week, right? We'll watch shark videos and cat videos, and we'll watch YouTube and Netflix and Hulu and all that shit from 9 to midnight. Are we making calls to clients from 9 to midnight? Why? Even if they were awake, would we? No. Why? Because we don't want to. Because our brain doesn't want to. Because it's tired, and your body doesn't want to go work out from. How many people work out from 9 to midnight? Almost nobody. Yeah. Right. And the ones that do are either like nurses and they have like a different schedule, or they're emo dudes that wake up at 1 o'clock, that live at their parents' house and wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and so their go time is the nighttime, right? But someone that actually functions like a normal human, you need to even if you go to bed an hour earlier, wake up an hour earlier, just doing that consistently will change your life.
Man. Jason, thank you so much for coming on this podcast and all the nuggets that you've spilled out for the listeners and myself today. Every time I get the opportunity to be in a room with you, I just want to be fully intentional, because I know I have a chance to better my relationships with the people around me, to better my business, to better myself, to better my income. And so I thank you again. And where can everyone find you? Where can they find your podcast? Where can they find you for roofing? Where can they find you for coaching?
Yeah, so if you want to join first of all, just follow me at Jason the Roofer. Everything will fall into place. So at Jason the Roofer, you'll find all my content. Everything's on there. Sexy Business Status is also on Instagram, and that is our coaching program that Nick and I use. And so we help business owners that are making about $250,000, $300,000 in revenue, and we help them scale to 8 figures. So that's our coaching program. So sending Jason the Roofer, you can find me on there. And then for anything roofing related, go to sexyroofstatus.com or state48roofing.com. No, go to state48roofing.com. You can upload information, Binzer reports, inspection reports, contracts, pictures, anything in there, and you can fill out a form, and my team will contact you. And anything roofing related, from repairs, maintenance, emergency services, tarps, commercial, residential, multifamily, anywhere in Arizona.
Perfect. And if you check out our Solar Detach and Reset Preferred Roofing Partner page, you'll see him at the very top of that list. You can select him, and it'll hyperlink you direct to his site where you can find him there as well.
Love it.
Thank you again. This is Ty with Solar Detach and Reset, your Bridge the Gap podcast, where we bridge the gap between the solar industry and roofing industry. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen and check us out. We'll see you guys next time.